there, it's Jared Hamilton with the Hamilton Group at Cherry Creek Mortgage. Welcome to another edition of Java with Jared. I'm being a little goofy here. That was AC/DC's Back in Black. And the reason that I chose that song and this title here is because I'm just wanting to honor that the stock market, for the very first time this year, finished in the black, in positive territory for the first time this year. So stocks are a little bit better than where they were on December 31st. It's been a real rough start to real rough beginning of the year here for stocks, but we're now in the black, and so there's a little AC/DC. Now, normally the stock market rally would have been bad news for interest rates, but actually interest rates finished the week better than where they were last week. We did see stocks and mortgage-backed securities move in tandem, so interest rates got better and stocks got better. Usually it doesn't work that way, and I'll explain why that happened here in just a little bit. Now, we did have a whole lot of economic data that was released into the market. We did see the producer price index. That came in a little bit weaker than expected. It measures inflation at the wholesale level. We did also see the consumer price index come in. That showed a little bit more strength than or a little bit more inflation than what the market was expecting, and that would typically be bad also for interest rates because inflation is interest rates' arch enemy. We did see building permits come in, and that was a little bit stronger than expected, and building permits were a little bit worse than expected. Housing starts were slightly better than expected. But the big news of the week was the Federal Reserve meeting. The Federal Reserve met on Tuesday and Wednesday, released a statement on Wednesday, and with the statement that the Federal Reserve released, both stocks and mortgage-backed securities rallied tremendously, so it was a good day. Now, no one was expecting that the Federal Reserve was actually going to increase credit at this meeting. Most were, there was, like a 70% chance is what most market participants are believing that we'll see another increase by June, but not at this meeting. The market was expecting that the Federal Reserve, in anticipation of increasing credit again, because there's been some inflation and we're getting really close to that 2% level on most readings, and the job numbers have been really, really good. So most believe that the Federal Reserve was going to be setting the expectations for an increase at the next meeting. So very hawkish statements. Actually, the statements, though, were really dovish. So they kind of pulled back a little bit. And the stock market really liked that because the fact that there may not be as many increases this year. Now, I really don't think the Federal Reserve is honestly going to increase credit very much this year. But stock market really did like that because it makes our goods and services outside of the United States more competitive. And so the stocks like that. And interest rates, mortgage-backed securities, and bonds also liked it because what that does is that it stimulates investment coming into the economy because the dollar weakened on that news. The dollar wasn't as strong, and so more money will flow into the United States economy as investments just because they don't have to worry about their money being devalued by a stronger dollar. So bottom line, pretty good on both sides. Now, we're going to continue to see a whole lot of market volatility here going forward. Everybody's going to be handicapping on when the Federal Reserve is going to move next. But the long term is, at least for this summer, we're going to see interest rates pretty good. If the stock market does falter a little bit, I don't, even though it's in the black right now, I don't think that it's going to go on some type of tear, and most economists don't believe that. So if the stock market falters, then we'll see mortgage-backed securities benefit even a little bit more because we're going to have this weaker dollar because maybe not as many Federal Reserve tightenings, and money's going to flow from stocks back to mortgage-backed securities. So that's what's going on with interest rates. We'll always keep you informed. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Hope you have a very wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me with Java with Jared, and we're always happy to help. Bye-bye.